Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Be Better Podcast. I'm Dr. Perkins, your host. Today's episode is called Be Better with Style and Dress, featuring MARY ZAROB. Thank you, Mary, for joining me.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
So I want to, before we get into the questioning, I want to really tell this funny story about how we met for the first time. And it's kind of funny because what had happened was I went golfing and I was supposed to eat at a restaurant, and that restaurant was booked. So I said, let me just on the way home go down the street and find a local restaurant, something new, something fresh, something different. And I happened to park in front of Mary's clothing shop called Q Contrary. And I saw this jacket that I'm wearing in the display case, and I really, really liked it. But I didn't go in. I went next door and ate, came back out, took a picture of this jacket. A few days later, I called her shop here and inquired about the jacket. How much did it cost? Tell me more about your shop, and so forth and so on. A few days after that, I came in. Now, remember, and I didn't tell you this, I went on her website. So she has a couple videos on there, and I saw her, and I know her voice really well. So when I visited, I walk in, she's all alone, and I go, "Hi, are you Mary?" And she looks at me kind of funny. She goes, "Maybe, maybe not." And she goes, "Are you here to give me a ticket?" And I'm like, "Well, where did the ticket thing come from? I'm not dressed like a policeman or anything." And so I go, "Okay, this is getting kind of weird. I know you're Mary because I seen you on your website. And so what's up with the ticket thing?" And she goes, "Oh, I thought you were just here to give me a ticket." I go, "Okay, again, I'm not a policeman. I just want to inquire about your jacket." And then here we are. So we built a nice rapport,
Yes.
and I thought that was kind of funny. Let me ask you, though, why did you think I was there to give you a ticket?
So in the neighborhood, they have these cameras that if you speed or you go through red lights, they take your photo.
Okay.
And then they have people come out dressed in civilian clothing that serve you tickets. So if they walk into
okay.
my store and they address me by my name, I'm always like, oh, because if you say yes, they go, "Here, you are served for your ticket." I'm a good driver. However, I'm not
Exactly.
perfect. So I just was worried that they flashed my car and I got a ticket and you were there to deliver me a ticket. And I didn't want to say it was me.
So literally, there's people who dress up in civilian clothes and just walk in and give you a ticket?
It's like, yeah, well, if you get
Oh, I didn't know
served,
that.
you get served papers or you get served
Okay.
a ticket. And then that neighborhood, they do that. So
Okay, very good. We
Yes.
got that cleared
Okay.
finally. So I thought that was funny, our
That was
first
funny.
interaction. It was
It
cute,
was funny.
funny, and great. Appreciate you again building a rapport, and then you have a beautiful shop. In just a little bit, we'll kind of get into the clothing
Okay.
that you have here. It's specifically for men, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, golf attire,
Yes.
dress-up
Yes.
outfits. You do some tailoring.
Yep.
I forgot to mention, you're the founder and designer of Q Contrary here
Yes.
in Phoenix, Arizona. Fabulous Phoenix, but hot Phoenix here in July.
Yes.
It's very hot right now.
Yes.
Tell us about who is Mary and your journey. How did you get from point A to your current point now? Because, again, you have a beautiful shop here.
So when I grew up, I always learned my mom taught me to sew.
Okay.
And so I always enjoyed sewing and crafts and being creative. In high school, one of my good friends go to New York every summer, and she'd always bring back these fabulous clothes. And I love reading magazines, and I was obsessed with New York. And I just study it and see the fashion, the people, everything. I love fashion magazines. So after high school, I went to community college where I took design classes because I always wanted to go to New York and study at FIT. And my high school didn't prepare me for an art school. And because I paid for college, I didn't want to just go to New York and dump all this money and not like it. So
And FIT, if I could interrupt you, is Fashion Institute of Technology?
Fashion Institute of Technology, yes.
Why do they call it technology?
I don't know.
That's weird. Fashion Institute of Technology.
You gotta ask the state of New York. No
Okay,
idea.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I loved it. I loved my design classes at Harper. And in there, I took a tailoring class. And most of my classmates hated it, and I loved it because I love the pattern making, the detail, the handwork, everything that goes into making a tailored suit. So I took it twice. So when I applied to school in New York, I applied for menswear because they have more tailoring classes and focusing on jackets and pattern making and coats. And I got in, and I had the time of my life. I love New York. I loved FIT. I interned with a lot of designers. I worked for Macy's and Calvin Klein jeans after college.
What did you do for them?
So for Macy's, I started as an assistant, and I worked with the dress shirt designers, neckwear, not sportswear, hosiery, underwear, all men's furnishings. So they have brands like Tasso Alba, Alfani, Bar 3, Club Room, all those brands that you design private labels for. And so I work with the different designers and helping them. And it was great. Like I do 6 months with this designer, 6 months with that designer. And after a couple years, I knew there was not an opportunity to grow. A friend of mine worked at Calvin Klein Jeans. Associate designer position was there in men's knits and sweaters. So I applied and I got the job. And I was there for about 4 years designing hoodies, t-shirts, graphics, washes. I mean, it was, you'd see guys on the street wearing your stuff in magazines. It was fun. It's a lot of work, a lot of politics. I mean, any job is. And then I kept in touch with my good director at Macy's, and he offered me a dress shirt designer job. And I went back and did that for about 3.5 years. Loved it. Had so much fun.
What are some of the politics you encountered in this? In
Personalities.
This field? Personalities.
Any job. There's always personalities. You know, like people don't get along with, people's opinions. You know, and it's a business, and you design things to sell. It's all about the customer and the business. But when you start building that relationship of things selling, then people tend to listen to you more. But that's totally normal. I mean, I want to keep the lights on. I want to get a bonus. I want to keep my job.
Right.
And if I can't just put out a bunch of crazy ideas that aren't good for the customer. So it's all about listening to the customer and what they want. And I learned how to listen to my product team and work together with them. But it's people. I mean,
just your typical people thing.
Yeah, it's normal.
Did you find a little bit of male versus female in that politics?
No, mostly females. Most of the women I work with, a couple that were difficult were female.
Okay.
You got to ask them why they didn't like me. I'm not going to talk about why I didn't like them, but that's normal. That's life. There's always people in life you're not going to like.
Right.
You kind of keep your head up, try to stay professional.
Right.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
This podcast is primarily focused on men. However, I do want to touch on women.
Okay.
Hopefully, they will take your tips and they will work with their men.
Okay.
Because as you know, we talked beforehand, I'm really concerned about men and them not dressing up. 9 out of 10, in my opinion, from what I observed, when I see them out on dates, be it boyfriend, girlfriend, or husband, wives, I don't see the men dressing up. The women, they're dressed to impress. But the men really struggle, in my opinion, and that's being nice. I'm using nice words today.
Yeah.
But and I'm just concerned, disappointed, frustrated. Why is it 2023 and the men are just not stepping up anymore? So, but let's get to the women. What would you, for dating, for interviews on the job, what are some women recommendations as far as their dress?
So I'm a little more classic, right? But I'm more into how clothes fit. So I think it's important to find a brand that fits your body, okay? There could be things the brand makes or a store makes that you just don't like. Like you're not into pink flowers, okay?
Right.
You like more stripes or plaids or just the color black,
Okay.
right? And that doesn't mean you have to buy it, right? Or you don't have to buy what's on the mannequin. But it's important to take the time and effort to research different brands and how they fit, that's in your budget, and that you like, and then you buy pieces that fit. Sure, they might need a little tweaking, like if you're a little shorter, you got hem pants a little shorter.
Right.
You know, you work with a tailor. But then also just find things you feel comfortable in, that you just don't think of about all day long. So when you put something on, you're not worried in 2 hours that your bra is going to show, your panty line is going to show, it's uncomfortable, it's tight. Like, you just have to live and work in it and make sure it feels comfortable. And then I also look at other women who I admire their style, and I always ask them places they shop. Right? But I think the key is, like, when you go on a date, look feminine, wear a dress, wear a skirt, like put something on that you feel great in, right? That you're not gonna be worried about, oh, it's too short, or oh, this all night. Like, you just feel comfortable so you can focus on your date and not your shoes killing your feet.
Gotcha.
Right? And then for business, I always tell my clients to dress for the job that they kind of want. So research who you're being interviewed by, research the company. You have LinkedIn, you can look on who all works there, you can make a couple phone calls, even people in that industry. So if you're getting into banking, you're getting into hospitality, you're getting into accounting, you're getting into real estate, talk to other people in those positions, in those areas of the workforce, and how they dress, right? And then just less is more. I would always put a jacket on, I'd always put a dress on, classic, not have any showing, no cleavage showing, nothing too short, that you feel comfortable, because you want them to focus on your face and what you're saying, and not your blingy, crazy necklace and your loud nails, right? You can do that later, but to get the job, it's just try to act more professional, cleaner, polished, comfortable, and like just simple.
Gotcha. So you would not recommend on a date to wear like a pantsuit?
No.
On a date, more feminine, dress,
skirts, dresses.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, but for business, that would be a great place for the pantsuit to go in.
Absolutely.
Okay,
yes.
gotcha. So pick and choose your area and dress appropriately.
Correct.
Gotcha. I was watching, I forgot which, it was a speaker, a famous national speaker, and when she speaks, it depends on the venue. She would either dress up or dress down, and her reason for dressing down was, she said, I wanted them to focus on my content,
Right.
not what I'm wearing. And I thought about that because when I watch speakers, sometimes if they're really dressed nice, I'm so focused on their dress and not even hearing half of their message. So I can see how she was playing that. And she was doing this interview as I was watching it on a Zoom or something, FaceTime, something to that effect. And her background was even plain Jane. And she said, I'm dressed down today, and my background is very boring because I want you to focus on my content, what I'm saying. So I could see that applying that to dress.
Absolutely. I have clients that work with farmers. Nothing against farmers, but they don't wear a three-piece suit when they go work with farmers, right? They wear a collared shirt, a pair of jeans, because even they're going to be out in like the fields maybe, or maybe in a bar somewhere, they're going to get dirty and be comfortable to relate to their client. I have a client who gives multi-billion-dollar presentations and tries to close deals with big banks in New York, right? He dresses a little bit more smarter, more of a suit, a tie, in a classy way for New York. I have clients that do business in Denver, right? A little bit more laid back. So you just kind of adjust to
The environment.
Right, and women can do the same thing, right?
Okay.
If you're going on a date, if you want to show your cleavage, kind of gives the guy the message, you're just there to show your body off and you got really not much to offer.
Gotcha.
I'm making a blanket statement, I don't want to offend people, but it's just what people think, right? But if you wear something a little classy, unless you just want to get laid, it kind of depends on what you're going through in your intentions of the date.
Right.
Right?
I love your words. That's true. That's true. That's how guys think.
Yeah.
So, interesting how, so is that presentation
Presentation, yeah.
via the venue,
Right.
the audience?
And maybe even ladies, when you're interviewing, if you have a Louis Vuitton bag or a big Prada bag, leave it at home. Like, don't take in your most expensive accessories, right? Like, kind of keep it modest so they
Nice.
don't, and then your boss is going to judge you in a way in how you present yourself, right? And it's not even just your clothes, it's your hair, your makeup.
Everything.
How you, like, nails, like the neck up is so important. Doesn't mean you need to get a blowout and, like, get your makeup done, but just less is more, cleaner, simple earrings.
Yes.
Until you get the job and you can see what it's like in the office, what it's like on the team, and who you're
Right.
working with, and then, decide what to wear.
If you look at the research for how people judge, because everyone's a judge, I call it, within 7 seconds they have you down.
Yeah.
And it can be right or wrong.
Right.
So
First impressions make
that
it.
first impression is really big. How about for men? The same question as far as when they're on the job, dating, interviews, etc. What are some of the things you would recommend for them?
So the same thing about fit. I think guys struggle a lot, and your whole concern about why men aren't dressing as well is finding clothes that fit them is a job. And a lot of men don't like to shop, and it's annoying, and they're uncomfortable, and they hate it. It's like I have so many customers that come in, they don't even try stuff on, they take it home, they bring it back. No big deal. But finding clothes that fit your build and your body, and like if you have a bigger chest, a bigger stomach, bigger thighs, and be comfortable, right?
Right.
So when you go on a date, I always recommend you need to wear a collared shirt. Okay, polo shirt, dress shirt, a collared
Thank you.
shirt. Yes, no
Mary for
t-shirts.
president. Mary for president.
But like, listen, third, fourth date, you're going to the baseball game, t-shirts are fine.
Gotcha.
Totally
Yep.
fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
First couple dates,
Yeah.
I mean, jacket is great depending on where you're going, but
Right.
a collared shirt,
Collared
tuck your shirt in,
Thank you.
look comfortable, nice
Thank
pair
you.
of pants. It doesn't need to be suit pants. And I always recommend darker colors make you look dressier. So if you did like a darker polo and darker jeans, you automatically look just a little dressier than a white polo and like really soft faded jeans. So, just depending on where you're going,
Okay.
But make sure the clothes fit you comfortable and you're not worried all night like, oh, my stomach's sticking out, or oh, my chest is this, or, all those little things. You want to focus on your date and be having fun and not worrying like, oh, these jeans are too tight. I can't eat.
Right.
Right.
You had a client in here when I came, I believe, to pick this up or check in on it. He was a little bit heavier, had a stomach, which is okay. A lot of men do, but make the fit for what body shape you have, and that's okay. I was at a orientation just last week, and a gentleman had a gut. I mean, again, I'm not picking on guys with stomachs, and he had suspenders on, and he looked great. A nice little dress shirt with suspenders and some slacks. He was styling it up. He had this green theme going on. He had green socks and a green shirt, and so you can no matter what your body shape is, spice it up.
Right.
It's okay.
And the client that was here, the larger guy, we put them in a 2XL in some brands. Other brands, I put them in an extra large. So learning, like I said about the women, learning what brands fit you and what
Right.
size to buy. Because the second I put him down in an extra large in a brand that fits huge, he didn't need the 2X because he was swimming. He looked bigger in it. His fiance, she's like, oh my gosh, she looks so much better. Like he just looked like he lost a little bit of weight because the polo was a little bit more fitted. It was a
There
darker
you
color.
go.
He felt much more comfortable. He wasn't swimming in it. And so taking the time to finding like a salesperson you like, you can always come see me, you know, like, or
Right.
finding someone that will just help give an honest opinion. And just try, it takes a little effort to try a couple things on to find brands that fit you and then wear that.
Would you agree then vests, jackets, like you just said, make you look a little bit slimmer?
Sometimes.
Okay.
If
Okay.
they're fit and tailored correctly.
Okay.
If it's too long, if it's hugging you in the wrong spots, if it's accentuating your stomach, it might make you look bigger.
Might
and
make you look
and
bigger.
you might look uncomfortable and like you're like squeezed into
Because
it.
you're trying
Yeah.
to squeeze into it, so.
But then
okay.
even if it's oversized, it might make you look bigger.
Right.
So there's little things with the armhole, with the tailor, with getting it
You're
tailored
right.
and
You're
fitted a
right.
little
I
bit.
just purchased a vest and I wore it to work last week, and I just felt like it didn't fit me right, and so I threw it away.
If you don't feel good.
I was so mad because I got it online.
Right.
And that's another thing. When you get things online, it's hit or miss. And like you said, some brands I can wear a medium, some brands it's a large. And you just don't know until you get the product in and you put it on like, ah, look great in the picture. Doesn't look great on me, and
But
this is
that's
not my size.
That's why you should shop local. Come
There
into
you
boutiques,
go.
support local,
Come
go into the
Q
stores.
Contrary here in Phoenix.
And takes the time and the effort. You know, like, and if depending on what your budgets are, sometimes if you're shopping inexpensive places, it's not always going to fit consistently. Little mid-tier, a little higher, it should fit more consistently. But they would also probably most likely take stuff back.
And that's what I love about accidentally discovering your store, is because a guy can come in here and you can fit them to your clothing, or you even design something. Is that correct?
Yes.
How does, so you know the jacket that's right over here off camera that I'm going to get for my birthday. It's in
Okay.
December, so I'll be back in a couple months. So how would you have that material? You would fit me for that?
Yeah.
How does that look for our viewers?
So for custom clothing, I do it for men and women. I take
Oh, you do it for women too?
women, yeah, I make
Okay.
suits and jackets for
Oh,
women.
okay,
So
okay.
I take all your measurements. So we
Okay.
build a pattern from scratch based on your measurements.
Okay.
So yeah, the sample I made is one of the, I make a couple samples in the store that I show cool trends, fit you beautifully. We just shorten the sleeves.
Okay.
But to build you a custom garment, I want to do it right in the beginning and take all your measurements.
Okay.
And then we design it. We pick the lapels, the pockets, the details.
Okay.
And that way, like some custom companies take a pattern and they adjust it, which is fine. It works for some people. I like to take a pattern, make a pattern from scratch, and build your measurements off of it,
Okay.
and make you your own pattern. And that's what the custom pieces that I make for my clients.
Would you also admit to some people look better in certain colors?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, okay.
And it's more like where you're going, who you're seeing, right?
Right,
Occasional.
right.
But then people have certain styles they like. I have clients that just love to wear bright color, and then sometimes if they're giving a
Right.
presentation, they tone it down a little bit. But they just love, love, love bright color, you know,
Right.
and it's great. It works for them.
Gotcha. Very good.
This is fun.
99%, as we mentioned here, I want to kind of emphasize this a little bit
Okay.
more. What do you think, as being the fashion guru, having that experience from the Fashion Institute of Technology, you did some work in Milwaukee before you came here, so
Yep.
New York, Milwaukee, Phoenix.
Yep.
You've been in the business for how many years?
22.
22. What do you think, beyond men not taking the time to shop for themselves, are there other reasons why they just don't dress up? Is it, what do you think?
I think some of them don't care.
Okay.
You know, they just, it's not important to them. Looking
Gotcha.
good, it's not important. It's not important to everybody. You know,
Right,
like
that's
you
true.
see that in society. A lot of people are wearing sweatpants and like PJ pants around. That's, you know, they're allowed to, you know.
Yeah, that's
They just-
driving me crazy.
Yeah. But, you know, like, that's okay. You know, like, it's not for everybody.
Is it okay?
No, I would, I mean,
I was just in the
simple-
car wash the other day, and there was a mom and daughter in pajamas, and I just wanted to jump off a bridge.
You see at the airport. They're all over the airport.
They're
you know,
everywhere. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just like, what's going on here?
And even like,
Put some clothes on.
where fast fashion is and clothing is, there's a lot of stores that sell super inexpensive, nice things, right? So you don't have to spend $1 million to dress
You don't.
well.
You don't.
No. And
You
you
don't.
just it takes a little time and effort, right?
That's all.
And I think part of it guys don't because they don't find clothes that fit them. They're not comfortable. They don't care. They get stuck in life. They're kind of just like, like they have a job they don't like. They maybe have a wife they don't like, or they have kids they don't like, or whatever it is.
They don't like their wives. I was supposed to tell that on guys.
I don't know. But, like, or themselves, or whatever. But looking nice doesn't, just couple simple things. Ironing your shirt, ironing your pants, tucking your shirt in. Little things like that don't cost a lot of money, a little bit of effort. And then I think if they, I had a client the other day, he wanted to start dating again. So he came in and bought a couple new things. But I also think when I help my clients, I just have them buy a couple things. They don't buy 20. And they see how they wear it. So you don't have a whole closet full of all this clothes you spent money on, right?
Right.
You get
then
rid
you
of
don't like them.
Exactly.
Because of 2 items you wore, and maybe you didn't get the girl or the guy, and now you're like blaming it on the clothes a little bit and how you looked.
And I think some people too, they dress sloppy because they're just used to grabbing a t-shirt. They're just used to grabbing this.
Right.
Right? They don't think to grab, the shirt with the collar is fancy. I only wear that for fancy occasions or dressy occasions. No. Put it on with a pair of jeans. Next time you go to dinner, you go to church or you go out with your buddies, it's you just try. And actually you might get a lot of compliments and attention, and you actually might feel good about yourself. Like simple ways of dressing well and nice.
And I want to bring that up, the confidence factor. We know if we look good, we dress good, we feel good.
Right.
It's a confidence boost.
Right.
And especially when people are complimenting us on top of that, we feel like $1 million. So it could really help your game if you're out there dating, looking, even your relationship, if you're in a relationship.
Right.
Just walking around the office feeling good about yourself just from your dress.
Right.
And now that translates to your work performance.
Right.
Being better there. So
think about the days that you get your hair cut, right? Or ladies, when we get our hair blown out. Even right after you get that appointment, you walk a little taller. Don't you?
Yes,
just
you
the
do.
little things. Like,
Just
you're like,
the little
I feel
things.
good, right? Like, it's the same with when you put on a shirt or a pair of pants that fit. Feel
there
good.
You go. There you go.
Or dress shoes.
Also, I want to kind of bring back up the budget for people. Like I told you in one of our conversations, when I started out, you start out with the budget you have. So you go to the Ross and the TJ Maxx and those type of stores, and then you might get a little boost in your paycheck, or your career position, and then you go to Express, Zara, Macy's, Dillard's. And then you might get another little boost, and now you're shopping at, as I talked about earlier, Saks Fifth Avenue and Nordstrom's. And so just stay within your range, and you want to stay within your range, because sometimes when you get to those higher ranges, you don't want to pay a lot of money for a pair of slacks that you can buy at Ross for $30 and you're buying it for $300 at a high-end store. So again, it's just what you prefer. And also, some people, like an Adam Sandler, he likes his clothes loose. Everything he wears, he says, I just love the loose, where I like it tight. I want the skinny jeans and the jacket, and that's my style, and that's okay.
Absolutely.
I think the point is making an effort and dressing up.
Right.
It could lead to a lot of benefits: confidence, work performance, etc. Getting the guy, girl, and so forth.
It's just new habits.
New habits.
Right? It's like you're going to the gym, you have to go 3-4 times a week if you really want to lose weight and get in shape.
There you go.
You're not just going to go once and all of a sudden have like beefy biceps, right?
There you go.
Like you go multiple, even like you start dressing, maybe get one shirt, you get a new pair of pants, and you alternate it, and you move it around, and you get a new pair of shoes, and you alternate and move around in your wardrobe. And slowly you start building pieces that 5 or 6 things, because you don't want to buy 20 at a time, and then you start wearing them and seeing what you like. And then it just becomes effortless when you get dressed, because they all kind of go together. You buy things that merchandise well together, bottoms that go with the tops, and you don't have to think about it, and it's just easier to get dressed.
Steve Harvey did something on dress, and he was saying something to the effect of, if you buy 4 shirts, different colors, and 4 pair of pants, and there's 79 different combinations. I don't know how he did the math, but I believed him because he dresses nicely. So it doesn't take you having, in other words, 20 pair of shirts in the closet or 20 pair of pants. You can do it with 4 pair of pants, 3 pair of pants, 2 pair of pants.
I want to talk about that because I see that a lot on social media. There's a couple really cool style guys like Steve Harvey that says, buy these 4 suits and these 5 shirts and you'll have 85 outfits or whatever
So is it valid or maybe?
For some guys. If you're a suit-wearing guy, Steve Harvey wears suits every day. I love his style.
Yes.
I love watching Family Feud because he looks phenomenal.
Yeah, and he's funny. Yeah.
He's funny.
Yeah.
But that might not be the average guy or everyday guy who wears a suit once a year to a funeral or a wedding, if even that.
Right.
So I think that's great for some guys. If you're going to wear a suit 6 days a week, follow that, and study that and get ideas. But if you don't wear suits, and you wear jeans and shorts, You know, buy darker denim, you buy a nicer pair of shorts, and nicer could be a darker color. Doesn't have to be $500 pair of shorts, right?
Doesn't.
And you buy a couple tops and you start wearing it together and seeing, and then you buy a couple more tops and a couple polos, a couple dress shirts, a couple short sleeve shirts, a couple things, and that way building your wardrobe of what your lifestyle is. Not just, because what they recommend works for some people, but not a lot of guys wear suits not even once a month.
Exactly.
You know, or maybe it's just a sport coat. Maybe you buy 2 sport coats and you rotate those a ton.
Right.
And then you're like, okay, I've worn this from the same people 6 times. I need a new coat. And that's how you learn what you need in your wardrobe.
That's funny that you bring this up. Last year, I was working at a high school, and this teacher goes by, and he's a quirky, funny teacher, and he just will express himself, and he goes, "You're not wearing that jacket again, are you?" I was like,
people notice.
Wow! And I probably only wore it 5 or 6 times.
Right.
It was winter there, and it was cold, and it was a really nice winter jacket you could put with some type of scarf and a sweater and a dress shirt combo. And I was like, wow, he just said that out loud. So that changed.
Sorry.
I made sure I didn't wear that for a while. What's funny is he wasn't wearing anything.
Right, and maybe he was jealous of your style. Maybe he is like, gosh, I wish I had a nice coat with that. And some people make those comments to like put you down in a way. And no, he wasn't putting you, because it's bros and guys talk that way.
I really think I took it as this. He liked how I dressed up, but he wanted to see something different.
Totally true. Yes, I can see that.
That's
yes.
what I took. I didn't take it as bad.
Okay, good.
Because he didn't have any style anyways.
Right.
He wasn't dressing up to begin with, so. But he liked me, and he was like, "Oh, you're wearing that again? You know, let's try something different." You know, right. I'm like, "Oh, I just wore 6 different jackets," but he targeted that one bluish jacket.
Right.
So that was funny. But you're right. And I bring that up because people notice what you're wearing.
People notice what you're wearing.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
There's this new trend that's driving me crazy. I want your input on this.
Okay.
Whatever your take is, I want to hear it. And I see it on TV. It's these sportscasters they wear a little hoodie, and then they put a little sports or dress coat on top of it, and the hoodie sticks out. I think it is lazy dressing.
Okay.
What is your take?
I love it.
Oh!
Done well. I love it. I started to my customers like 2 years ago about that.
Really?
Like a super simple, I sell these Cocoa hoodies from Grayson in my store. They don't have the drawstrings. It's a wool cashmere
Some of them do
blend.
have the drawstrings, what I see. So you don't like the drawstrings?
I think the drawstrings are distracting.
Okay.
And it's too casual.
Okay.
But a lot of the guys like on Sports Center or some of like the
They
NFL
do that.
Network, they like a cleaner look, no drawstrings.
Okay.
Not super thin polo or hoodie, but a hoodie that's got a little body to it.
Okay.
So it's not like a sweatshirt.
Okay.
Right? Or like a decent sweater and not like a thin sweater. I think guys want options in dressing. As women, we have so many different options.
You guys
skirts
do.
and dresses
You
and
guys
pants
do.
and shorts.
It's unfair. It's
right?
unfair.
Men don't. Men don't have a lot of options. So
Gotcha.
styling and layering
Okay.
shows
Okay.
a little bit of style. Plus, those guys on TV, they're wearing that stuff like all the time. They just want to throw it up, put a little different look.
I don't mind them wearing the sneakers because I can understand that. After years, your feet hurt in shoes.
Right.
And so sneakers make it comfortable with a nice suit. At first, I didn't like that, but after a while, I got used to it. And I go, oh, that looks pretty good with some sneakers on. That suit looks pretty good.
Yeah.
And if you wear it just right. So.
But I'm going to show you, when we're done with this, I'll show you the hoodie and the look because I've done it and it looks.
Okay.
And it's just.
You got to convince me on that one. I
yeah.
I cringe when I see that. I know
good.
there's certain personalities on there. I'm like, come on, dude. Can you not wear a hoodie today? Just kind of like that guy who dogged me out about the blue jacket.
Yeah.
I go to them, don't wear the hoodie today. Don't wear the hoodie this week. Just stop it. It's hot outside. But they love the hoodie and the dress jacket or sports coat. I'm just like, so, okay, you like it.
Because it's a way to show layering and dressing, that you're not putting a tie and a handkerchief or a bold shirt. It's to show, instead of a vest, it's a way of layering and to show a little bit of style, a little something different. Okay, first we got to start with the hoodie, right? This is a wool cashmere blend. This is a beautiful, soft, elegant knit. He's so handsome, he feels amazing, he's soft. To the point where this is light, it has a little beef to it. Beef means body, okay? But it's not thin and draping, and it's also not a sweatshirt, like a heavy, thick cotton sweatshirt, and there's no draw cords hanging down. I also encourage my guys to layer, so put a shirt on under, right? This shirt has got great blue buttons, it has little details, like subtlety, just elevates your look. And then of course I paired it with this awesome This jacket is definitely more of a fall jacket. Like I don't sell this look to my clients here in Phoenix in the summertime, but a really good, cozy, it all complements. There's no contrast. We're not matchy-matchy. We complement each other, right? This elevated look, I mean, he could totally take me to dinner. Isn't he great?
All right, audience. This is where we're going to have a little debate. I have a different perspective. I love this. I think this is gorgeous right here. This pattern in this color, hooked up with the pocket square. Obviously, the white. Oh, this is like a performance. I love the performance too, especially for Phoenix areas where it's hot. But this is where I debate right here. I want to know in the comments, what do you think? Is Mary right as far as putting on this little hoodie with all this? Or is Dr. P right? Get rid of the hoodie. I'm very anti-hoodie. I think it's a little lazy as far as the men dressing up. I think this looks great without the hoodie. So let me know in the comments. Mary, thumbs up, or Anthony, Dr. P, thumbs down. Let's hear it, folks.
And I think it's cool that the guys in Sports Center inspire the kids.
So there you go, man. You got one victory there. I would say no to, but we got the guru here. So, okay, very good. I like your take on that. Okay. I was supposed to pay you more money to say you didn't like it, but okay.
I can't lie. You can't keep track of my lies. I'm going to get you in a hoodie sweater.
Oh, okay. We have to talk. It has to be sexy looking, you know.
Oh, it's going to be sexy.
And a little V-neck. I talked to you about the V-neck.
Yep.
Why? Let's talk about that because I think men look so much more handsome with a V-neck sweater.
Okay.
But when you go into stores, I don't see any V-neck sweaters. And I told you, I should just open up a V-neck sweater store. I think it would sell. What is your take on V-necks versus crew?
I think it's personal preference.
Okay.
Depending what you're wearing, who you are.
Okay.
Some guys, if they have chest hair or they wear a shirt on under,
Yeah,
they
cut,
don't like
cut the chest hair off. Zzz.
They don't like the V-neck. You know, like it's all personal preference.
What is that new little kit they have for men? What's it called?
I don't know. I'm not a man.
Oh, it's on these commercials. Oh, it would come back to my head. They use it for downstairs to trim, and there's a name for it. They need to manscape. There you go.
Manscaping, yes.
They need to manscape up here. I'm going to tell these New Yorkers, cover that up. It looks bad. That's right. I said it.
There you go.
Cover it up. Shave it up. No one wants to see that.
You could do a whole podcast
This is
on
not
that.
1970.
You could do
This
a whole
is not
podcast on
1970.
that.
I know. I could do it. Let's shave it up. Zzz. Let's get it going, flowing. All right.
Sorry,
People are
everybody.
mad at me. I'm going to be canceled, and I'm going to get 1 star in a Yelp review for this one.
And look, they're finding you.
Why do you think? I know they're already searching for me. Why do you think in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s people dressed up, and now this current society doesn't? Does it go back to, again, what you were saying all along, comfort, taking the time to shop, preference? We got a looser society now?
No, I just think it's what they did. I mean,
Yeah.
it was what they did.
Even in the cowboy days, the Western days I call it, with the the late 1800s, you see Westerns with people just dressing up outside.
Well, it's part of their culture.
It's a culture.
It was their livelihood. It's what everyone did. It was accepted. You know, like the kings and queens did it. Everyone below them dressed. It was just how everyone dressed. Nowadays, there's more options in dressing. People don't need to wear corsets and, petticoats and, tails and all that and top hats. It's just how style and fashion has changed and evolved. And, even back in the 80s, all the big suits and everyone's wearing more suits. And people do dress up and dress well. I think nowadays people get in their garage, they go park underground, they go up to their buildings. In certain cities like Phoenix or that aren't super walkable, people do dress up. I think people you just see out and about sometimes aren't, but it depends where you're going, who you're seeing. I mean, in certain cities, people dress well all the time. I think certain cultures, like the Hispanic culture, it's so important for them to dress well and dress nice and iron their shirts and shirts with collars and wear a lot of color. It's kind of their culture and how they were raised. Like it's just how you're raised. And back then, people were raised in the 1800s and the 1700s to wear.
That was their
They would go shopping. They would go to the dressmaker. They would go to the tailor. Here, people go to Walmart or Ross or Macy's or Saks or wherever they shop, Nordstrom's, and they shop where they dress where they want.
Gotcha. And again, I want to really kind of go back to you could shop anywhere and find really some clothing nuggets, as I call it. Depending on your budget, I've purchased many things at Walmart in my day. Target. Again, TJ Maxx, Ross, Dress for Less. I found some nuggets in there, and just depends on where you're at and where you want to be. You may have a lot of money, but still shop at Ross.
But you take the time, and it's important to you.
You take the time.
And I
yeah.
think if it's like my customers take the time to shop with me or other places because it's important for them to look nice. And you're not going to make a wardrobe a super dapper, handsome GQ wardrobe overnight.
No.
Like you've been building your wardrobe for how many years, right? It takes time to add and to subtract
Yes,
and
yes,
add.
and yes.
And you gain weight, you lose weight, trends change, you see things. Like I shop a lot when I'm on vacation. I mean, because I spend 80 hours a week in my shop, right? So last thing I want to do on my time off is shop. But on vacation, I'm much more relaxed.
Gotcha.
But I spend the time and effort when I, want to.
There you go.
I make a lot of my clothes, but for guys, you take the time when you see something at little shops or places you go, or Walmart or wherever, like Saks, and you just add pieces, and you're like, huh.
I remember for me, when I was in junior high, I only had 2 pair of pants. Mm-hmm. To this day, brown corduroy and a pair of jeans. But I was growing. You're a junior high kid and you're growing. Mm-hmm. And they were getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And we had 5 kids in the family. I had 4 siblings. I was the oldest, and my dad and my stepmom. And times were tight. Mm-hmm. And so I remember saying to myself, I don't want to live this way when I get older. We're just poor. We're struggling. Food on the table, a lot of applesauce and water, just getting by. And I said to myself, when I get in a financial position, I'm going to, do better, be better. And it's funny how we bring in that past. I call it the blame game.
Right.
And where you blame something in the past for your positive in the future. Right. So that helped me going through that struggle, those hardships, to be better when I got older. And so I remember, I think I was 12, 13, I got a paper route. They don't have those these days. And that was my money to buy clothes because those jeans were getting tighter, those brown corduroys were getting tighter.
Right.
And I was so happy that I had a little bit of money to do stuff, buy sneakers. Right. Go to school getting teased because I didn't have Nikes or Adidas or Ponies or the big brand names, and I would get teased. They called it Bobos. You have Bobo shoes because they weren't the brand names. I don't know where they came up with that name.
The butterfly shoes were the cheap version of the Keds. That's what I had to wear.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And I got tired of being just shamed when you go to school and you feel bad. And junior high, we know bullying.
Kids
We've
are
all
mean.
probably have been bullied.
Kids are mean.
So that was my drive to this day. That's why I like to dress up, just because you didn't have. Now you can, and you want to look nice. And what's funny, you go from that and you transition into dressing up, and now you have people still beating you up because you dress up too much. So my point is, be you.
Correct.
Be you. Who cares what they say?
Right.
Wherever you're comfortable, wherever you land, be you.
But don't you get more compliments than criticisms?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you brought that up. When we go through stuff like that, always remember we have more blessings than burdens.
Right.
Always remember that.
But
and there's always going to be haters, naysayers, and I even, like you said, when I go into a new position, I will not even put in a pocket. What do you call these again?
Pocket square?
Pocket squares, or my little brooch. I'll wait it out like 6 months and go on just plain Jane with a nice jacket, and then I'll add the pocket square. Mm-hmm. And then I slowly add the brooch. I kind of wean them into it because I come with the house. It'd be too much for them.
And I grew up similar like you. I'm one of 8 kids.
One of 8 kids?
One of 8. I shopped at garage sales, and all my clothes were hand-me-downs.
Where are you at in 8
I'm
kids?
the second youngest.
Okay, second youngest.
So like all my sister's clothes, I just would see them wear, and I knew eventually I never really went shopping. My mom bought me a couple things that I needed here or there, but we never really went shopping. And so when I moved to New York, it was this whole different lifestyle of seeing all the options and what people were wearing, and it was fun to be able to go shop and dress. And I couldn't afford a lot of the things, and I paid off my credit card, whatever, bad choices, whatnot. But,
yeah, we all did.
But at the time, because my parents couldn't afford to buy me anything, they said if you needed something, you got a job, saved your money, and bought it. And that's what all my siblings did, because my parents just couldn't afford to get us extra stuff.
Exactly.
Right? And so a lot of us have that, what happens in your childhood, but you just have to accept it. You got to let it go, and you got to just be who you are till you say.
Be who you are.
And
no matter who you are, someone's going to dog you out, and that's their issue, not your issue.
Right. And I usually say, when people will say something about I wear, I'm like, oh, thanks for noticing. You're like, oh, I love the attention. You turn into a positive. But But most people will compliment and say you look really nice, like, or they just smile at you, and you kind of know, you're like, okay, you know.
And
like,
people see you from a distance, and they don't have a chance to interact with you.
right,
But down the road, you might bump into them in the restroom.
right,
I had some interesting conversations just recently with a business manager in a school restroom because he dresses up. And so I complimented him, and he complimented me. He goes, it's good to have, you know, a partner in crime here, or we're both dressing up, and we got into some other funny conversations. But yeah, people noticed that.
People noticed
And
it.
then again, last week, I bumped into someone that didn't even know her. Went to go grab some water in a certain part of the building. I said hi to her, and I was leaving, and she goes, hey, I noticed you, and da-da-da-da-da-da. People notice you.
People notice.
People notice.
When I worked at Macy's, I was talking to my director, Nathan, and in the office, not a lot of people complimented each other. And he's like, let's make an effort to compliment people. And I was like, you're right, people don't. We kind of just, we're there to work, we get through our days, we got stress, you know, but like we started just complimenting people on things we liked. You know, we weren't going to give like negative, you know, compliment something we just thought was
Right.
poor taste and style or whatnot. But like the little things, and people are like, oh, it made their day, you know, and
The
I
little
hear
things make the day.
I hear from my clients who, because a lot of my clients aren't on social media, right? They're not taking selfies, they're not tagging me, and that's okay. Like, I don't need that. I
Gotcha.
work with them as best I can, but they come in and
Gotcha.
tell me, they're like, Mary, when I wear that jacket, I get 5 compliments. I've never got more compliments in my life. And so like getting things in your wardrobe that once you start wearing something different and new that fits and you feel good in, you like start getting compliments in a simple way, and then you'll compliment more people, and it's just a way that just makes you feel better.
Self-esteem, confidence,
And it
performance.
takes time.
And it takes time. That someone saw you, you know, you went through your journey of getting to this point, dressed up, and someone said, they validated you. Said, good job. What's in this business, what's a very unique story you have regarding clothing? Is there something that was odd, different, funny, strange? Strange requests for clothing?
No, people want me to make kilts or certain dresses. I can't always make that. I think the interesting thing that really kind of helped me understand my business more was the compliments, right?
Okay.
So I worked with a client, nice guy. I do a lot of networking, and we're in part of networking groups together. This is like 5-6 years ago. And he came in, and I made him a blue suit. To me, a blue suit is like a blue suit.
Right.
I was just like,
right.
didn't think anything of it, but he needed it. We worked on it, and we fit it to him. And the client is about 5'5". He's short.
Okay.
Right. And again, he took it out and he wore it, and I check in on him, how's it working out? He's like, it's great, thank you so much, wonderful. That's usually what I hear from my clients, right? Well, then fast forward, I was, it was middle of the summer, business is slow, we were kind of talking. I was like, yeah, I don't know, I'm trying to do different things. And he goes, Mary, I gotta tell you something. He's like, that blue suit you made me, he's like, I've never gotten more compliments in my life. He's like, that is my closing suit. That is my presentation suit. He's like, I keep it safe in my closet when I have something big coming up.
Nice.
He's like, because I feel
This is go-to.
Right, and that to me was like, what are you talking about? Because as a girl, we're always like, cute nails, cute hair, I love your bag, but men don't get compliments. And so that really helped me understand how important it is for me to help my customers and men dress well, and the details and how it means a lot. To me, it was just a blue suit. He's like, oh, no, Mary. He's like, that is my presentation suit, that's my closing suit, and clothes means something to people.
Was it
And-
like a bright blue?
No,
Was it
it's
like
just-
a navy blue?
It was like a little happier blue.
Okay.
It's a blue suit you'd see everybody wear, but he's like, Mary, clothes never fit me well. The details in it, he's like, I never have gotten compliments in my life in anything I've wore until I started wearing that suit. And so it
There
was
you go.
eye-opening to me that I was like, those kinds of stories help me kind of understand my business, and not weird requests, but understand like, okay, like that sort of thing was like, okay, now I know why I'm doing what I'm doing.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. What are other things you'd like to share in this business regarding your store? What are some things you want to bring to light?
Oh, that's a good question. Give a brand a chance. Give a brand a chance.
Okay.
I think I carry some brands in my store that aren't popular that I get my clients to try on, and they're like, oh my gosh, I love this. Like not popular brands. I think nowadays, these big brands that just have these huge budgets for advertising, or just because celebrities wear it, people love to wear it, or they're on Instagram, like, oh, I gotta wear that. Well, great. But find pieces that are unique to you. Like, I pick unique pieces here in my store because I learn what men in Phoenix like to wear and shop, and what I think they should be wearing. And so when you come into a shop and you're dressing, don't just buy what's on the mannequin. Spend some time and effort, and don't always buy like the popular brands. right? Venture out to smaller brands, give smaller boutiques chances, stop by them, see what they have, support local, support brick and mortar stores, because they work. Like, I go twice a year to a show in Chicago, and I meet tons of different brands and these salespeople, and I understand what they wear or what they're shopping and what they're selling. But then I talk to my customers every day, what brands they're wearing, what they like, and my customers always tell me about all these new brands that they're finding and wearing, and I research them and I listen to my customers. So I kind of carry unique things like that. So to a point, don't always just stick to one brand, give other brands chances, and not the popular ones.
I like that. I like that, especially support local. Because when we go online a lot, which I think all of us do,
Right.
You never know.
Right.
Like I mentioned before, some brands I wear medium, some brands I wear a large, and then they look great in the picture, and then when I get them home, I'm like, oh, what is this?
Right.
So I like that.
And when you put something on, it's not going to fit you perfectly. 70% of the time, you might have to shorten the sleeves. You might have to take the waist in a little bit. You might have to hem something. So get to know a good tailor in your neighborhood. Just spend a little time and effort and a little money on tailoring pieces in your closet, right? Like your favorite jeans, the zipper breaks, don't toss it, have the zipper replaced.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
If it's too long, have it hemmed. And you don't have to take your whole closet to the tailor. Like, take one piece, make sure they do it well.
There you go. There you
Then
go.
add more pieces and slowly shop your closet, because I'm sure there's a ton of really great things in your closet, but you don't wear it because the button's missing, because the zipper's broken, because it's too long, or the waist is uncomfortable. If you just take it to a tailor and have it altered a little bit and fine-tuned, it might actually be your favorite piece.
And I do that. I do that for me. I like it, again, more of a slimmer cut on me, so I have to take it to a tailor who lives by me, and I do like the tailored or the tapered
Yeah, you look great.
pants, and as far as the length, I have to get the length taken up a little bit. The tapered pant look, even on my slacks, I like them tapered. They think I'm a little strange, but I just like that look. Where again, other people like it loose.
Right.
And whatever your style is, it makes you happy. Good for you.
Right.
So where would be starting points for people to get out there who are a little bit afraid of shopping and making that first step? What would you recommend? How can they get going?
Pick one store.
Pick one store?
Pick one store, go in there, try a couple things on.
Okay.
Ask a friend. Look who in your office who dresses well. Look in your friend group who dresses well, in your neighborhood, in your church.
Okay.
And look for someone who has your same build. You're shorter,
nice,
you're more huskier, you're
nice.
slimmer. Don't ask the guy who's beefy from the gym if you're super slim and half his height, right? Find someone that looks like your build and ask where they shop. Or you're like, compliment them. Hey, I love your jeans. Where'd you get them? Write it down. Okay, research where to get them. Go try them on, right? And then just start with a couple pieces. And just because a salesperson's like, oh, it looks so great, it looks so great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take a moment and think, do you really like
Does
this?
it look great for you?
Correct.
Because they may be trying to sell you something.
Correct.
Okay.
But not all salespeople are like that. I don't want
Right.
But
Yep.
try, and I also sometimes, if you're going to have dinner at the mall with friends, go an hour early, walk into 2 or 3 shops, right? See a couple things, try some things on, find a sales associate that's built like you. If you can find someone that looks like you, ask them what they're wearing, what sizes. You can try it on at home, right? Like, I don't go to the makeup counter and have someone do my makeup if I don't like the way their makeup looks. You know what I mean? Because
Gotcha.
it's the same thing with clothing, right? And so it takes a little effort. You don't have to spend 4 hours on a Saturday, we don't have time for that, but just spend a little bit of time.
Nice.
And build that relationship with the salespeople and the store. And then once you find the right sizes, in your phone, create an album in your phone for all the brands that you like to wear and the sizes.
Nice.
So when you get an email that it's on sale and you're at the office, Banana Republic is having a sale. What's my size? And I just buy that. Then you have it in your phone. You're not like, oh, what is it? What size shoe do you wear? All those things. Just create an album in your phone of all the brands and the sizes, and the fits. Like if there's a leeward fit, if it's the Torino fit, some brands have different fits, regular fit, slim fit, whatever. And then don't be afraid of something just because it says slim. Don't be afraid of something just because it says slim.
Yes. Yes.
I don't wear slim stuff. Slim is just an adjective. Brands now, they use it as an adjective. Bigger,
That's a perfect point.
it's just an adjective. So if it just says slim or slim fit, skinny, just try it on.
I do that. I don't have what I consider a slim or skinny fit, but what I do is I have to go up a couple sizes, or maybe just one size.
Right.
And I love it.
Right.
I typically wear like a 32, 33, somewhere in there. If I have a bad meal, 34.
The holidays.
The holidays, 30, 70, 45, 74. Then I'm in here at 5'2" and 300 pounds. But yeah, I order something a little bit more because I can't do a 32 slim, so I might do like a 34 slim, 36 slim in some cases. And, but yeah, I love the slim cut. That's just me. I just like it. For some reason, I feel comfortable versus a loose fit. Talk to us about your website, please. Where can people find you?
Sure. So my shop here in Phoenix is 32nd Street in Camelback. It's called Q Contrary. My online store is qcontraryshop.com, and then my business about my store is qcontrary.com. So I have an online store. I have my business store website. I do a lot of YouTube videos like you do on dressing. I highlight a lot of my products on my online store. I talk about how they look and fit. I do a lot of videos and content how things fit. You can always email me at mary@qcontrary or call my shop if you have a question on a size or you want to try something, but you're in between sizes. Like, buy a tape measure. I can measure. You measure your shirt at home. I can measure my shirt in the store, and we figure out what you need. And
okay.
Yeah, I do a lot of that for clients.
And if it's something brand new, you can sit down with the client and design it for them.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. I really get to know them and what they need.
Right.
And help them as best I can.
Is there a long turnaround for that? Is it like 4 or 5 weeks?
So for custom clothing, it takes about 5 to 6 weeks, depending on what we have made. Stuff off the rack, I have a variety. If I don't have your size or you want something special, I can special order it for you. Alterations usually take about a week to get done. Yeah, so if you're local and you need something tailored, bring it in, let me help. If you need a second opinion on stuff, I offer services for wardrobe consulting, and I even work with clients. We Zoom, depending where they live. We do like Zoom meetings, and
nice.
yeah. Or if you come in, a lot of clients take photos of their closet and say, you know, these are like the 4 shirts I always wear, instead of bringing in the 4 shirts, or these are the 3 jeans I always wear. You know, like I need, you know, tops to go with it, you know, so we don't duplicate what they have in their closet. And, or these are the 2 pairs of shoes I have, so it just takes some photos.
Very good.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for your time. I do want to do a quick scan of your store.
Okay.
And we've only, talked about 4 or 5 times?
Yep.
So as you can tell, folks, great personality. She's very personable and funny when we're off camera, very funny. We got a little comedian here who dresses up and who loves hoodies. So I have to tease her on that later. Come by the store, please. Do you remember off the top of your head the exact address?
3168 East Camelback Road in Phoenix.
Okay, and then what's the website one more time?
qcontrary.com or qcontraryshop.com.
And your phone number's on there. What's your phone number out loud?
602-301-6987.
I highly recommend Mary and her Q Contrary. It's a tongue twister for me. Shop. I started to dress here. I got a jacket and a nice dress shirt, and I'm ordering to have you doing a nice little project for me. I grew out of a very nice jacket that I purchased in Vegas.
Very handsome jacket.
And she's going to widen it for me. We got a little strip going down the middle, so you can see how she tailors things and helps you out. But I highly recommend her shop, and give her a try on the website, or give her a call, or come by her store here in Phoenix, Arizona. Thank you so much for your time.
Pleasure. Thank you.
You guys know where to find me. I'm all over social media. I have my YouTube channel, Dr. Anthony J. Perkins, Facebook, Anthony J. Perkins, LinkedIn, Dr. Anthony J. Perkins, and Instagram, Perkup67, Perkup67. And I'm all over the, the podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple, Google, Podvine, etc. Thank you so much for your support. Let's do a little scan, if we can, of the store and just talk about a few items as a closure.
That was great.
That was amazing.
Fun. Good job.
I'm here in Arizona, and a lot of my clients love to golf. But when I work with a brand like Grayson, I try to handpick things you can wear golfing or you can wear to the office. And one of the reasons I love Grayson is because their polos fit so big. So I can help huge, tall, big guys fit in clothing, and then smaller guys, I just alter it, right? So Grayson has these really great polos, and one thing this brand does is they elevate the collar with a little jacquard, a little detail, the rib cuff. So instead of just a solid pedestrian polo, they elevate it with a jacquard collar that just lifts your outfit a little bit, right? And you wear this under a quarter zip, you wear under a sport coat, it just elevates everything as a little detail. So guys, in your clothing, you can find little details in the collar or the buttons that just elevate your look, okay? Instead of wearing something like crazy loud, like this might not be your style, A lot of guys don't like this or wear this. A lot of guys do. But little details, even this collar has a little jacquard. It just elevates. It's not the self fabric, so it's not this pedestrian looking polo. It's cool. Okay, then classic pieces. This brand has a lot of just clean classic pieces, which is the Omaha polo, which this is just bread and butter. It's a good go-to navy polo. You guys need classic, simple looks. You don't have to think about when you get dressed, and a look like this is just that. Again, under a sport coat, by itself, tuck in, tuck out. And I like this brand because they're cut longer. So if you have a belly or a longer torso, because all of our proportions are so different, this brand is great for that. It's also quality. You know, you can wash these at home. We don't put anything in the dryer because the dryer kills stuff, except towels and socks and sheets, but this sort of look, okay? Winning looks, 3 simple things, and don't be afraid of a brand because it has crazy loud looks like this, okay? A lot of brands do classic key pieces that you can wear day in and day out. Okay, so there's a couple things every guy needs to have in his wardrobe. One is a really great pair of denim, a pair of jeans, okay? I always encourage the first pair you get should be dark, clean, because you can dress a look up like this, up or down. Okay, I carry Fidelity denim in my store. They're out of Canada. They make really great denim. The guy who actually started this brand used to be a hockey player, so he has huge thighs. But they have about 4 to 5 different fits, which I love because I can fit so many different clients. I'm here in Arizona, so a lot of the fabrics I have are softer and they all have a little bit of stretch. But this jean, you don't see much of the stitching, okay? It's super dark, it's one color, it's not faded. This is a look you can wear with a t-shirt, you can wear under a sport coat, you can dress it up or you can dress it down. So if I had a vote for all of you gentlemen and you're out there trying to find a new pair of jeans, get a look just like this. This is the Westgate, no, it's the Westgate wash? Yeah, the Westgate in my store. I have this in a slim, in a slim straight. You can get it in a wider look. It's fantastic. Now I want to show you another version of a jean that's a little bit more washed out so you can kind of see the difference, right? You see the yellow stitching, you see the fading throughout the thighs and down, and then you see in the back, right, through the seat. These are great jeans. I love these, right? Can't always dress it up. If you go to something really, really nice with a white shirt and a great jacket, not so much, right? That's why I encourage most guys to get a really clean, dark pair of jeans. These only have 1 inseam. Don't be scared. You just go to a tailor, have them hemmed, a little extra work, but you'll look like $1,000,000, and you never have to think about what to wear. You pull these jeans out, you feel great.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it from Mary from Q Contrary. We want to hear from you because we're going to keep doing this as kind of a series. What else do you want to learn about when it comes to clothing? So please fill in the comment section, and if you love the content, please share it. Everyone, thank you again for listening. We'll see you soon.